was really bad salt, guys. Hey. I'll just say if you catch me talking, I'm talking to my YouTube fans. I'm live streaming myself right now. So I apologize. If it's too distracting, and I will stop the stream. I'm using something called the gravity grip. It's supposed to like suck the oil in your hand.
Como la gente normal, como la gente normal. Pues, se va a ver la foto, pues, aquí no te parece, mira, no está, a la bonita de una, pero bueno, pues, así, o pues, como que la gente a la estética. Entonces, yo como, y luego de que hay la verdad es que lo vamos a hacer otra cantidad. Ay, es lo mejor que te van a dar en el síndrome, ¿no? Evil pastor, you here? Crystal City,
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Pearsall. We're here, but no students yet. Okay. Del Rio.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. Give me just a second to log into my computer. We are moving right along in this class. From the looks of here, we finished, let me make sure we done chapter 9. Chapter 9 is storytelling. Your test was over 1 through 8. Some of you have not finished your chapter 9 video and quiz. I don't remember if I put a date on there or not. Some of you were missing other things. I went in there and I fixed your grade on those. If it was another chapter that I hadn't graded yet. Chapter 10 is next. Chapter 10 is poetry. This is not a long chapter. So when I'm done with 10, I'm going to move on to 11. That way maybe you can have time in class to
work on your puppets you're gonna have to create, or your flannel board. Chapter 10 is poetry. We're gonna talk about poetry in the young child, poetry and reading abilities, your selection, your types of poetry, your teacher techniques and resources. We're going to talk about poetry elements, how to present a poem, creating a poem that will appeal to young children. So let's start right here. Poems. There's a lot of different poems and poetry out there for children. Can someone tell me a poem they think that is a children's poem you've heard before? I'm gonna ask Kiara, can you maybe think of a poem you think would be good for little children that maybe you've heard?
Oh.
Row, row, row your boat. It's kind of like a little song too. What's another one, Eagle Pass? She said, row, row, row your boat. Can you think of a different one? Remember, a poem has a rhyme in it. So like a nursery rhyme.
Yeah, Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty, what's another one? Crystal City. You think of a nursery rhyme you've heard? I don't know if you're talking or not talking. Crystal City, nursery rhyme.
Take it a little.
The cat and the fiddle, yes. The cow jumped over the moon. The dish ran away with a spoon, something like that. I haven't heard that one in a long time. Del Rio, can you think of a nursery rhyme?
Wheels on the bus.
Okay, maybe the wheels on the bus. You can turn that because you can do actions with your body. Pearsall, can you tell me a nursery rhyme?
Isn't there one called Roll Over where there's like 10 in the bed and one rolls over?
Yes, roll over, yes. What about Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? What about Jack and Jill? There's so many out there. And they're easy, short verses that children can learn. You need to expose them to the classics and some new contemporary poetry.
Is the Busy Spider considered a poem?
Which one?
Is the Busy Spider?
Yes.
Okay.
All these could be used. Remember, poetry, a lot of poetry has rhymes and rhythms. It gets our imagination going. It's easy to learn. There's also the Grand Old Duke of York. You might have heard that one, you might not have.
The Duke of York, he had 1,000 men. He marched them up the hill, and he marched them down again. When you're up, you're up, and when you're down, you're down, and when you're only halfway up, you're neither up nor down.
You might have heard that one. Experts believe that the child's ability to discriminate, create rhyming words, and sense the rhythm is closely related to early reading ability. Nursery rhyme knowledge is a strong predictor of word attack and word identification skills when children begin early reading. Nursery rhymes, a cock-a-doodle-doo, dee-doodle-dee, doodle-dee, doodle-dee-doo. Rhyme and alliteration. It has form and order. There's Jonathan Rain, Mrs. Pet Pigeon, Godfrey Gordon, Gustavus Gore, The Elf and the Dormouse, The Animal Store, Mother Goose Rhyme, Christopher Robin had Weasels and Sneasels. Listen, my children, this must be stopped. Now, teachers look for points of quality and merit. 3 elements exist in good poetry. Number 1, dictation. 2, carefully chosen words and phrases. And 3, significant content. Favorite rhyme with a strong 4-beat couplet would be Humpty Dumpty. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jumped over the candlestick. This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. This little piggy something, and this little piggy went wee 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 all the way home. Sorry. London Bridge. We said hey diddle diddle earlier. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner. Or to market, to buy a fat pig, jiggity jig. There's so many out there. There are several types of poetry. Lyric, medallic, is descriptive poetry that often has a song quality. There's narrative poetry that tells a story or describes an event happening. Limerick is a poem with 5 lines of a verse set in a specific rhyming pattern and is usually humorous. And the free verse poetry does not rhyme. And nonsense poetry, ridiculous and whimsical. will have words, and then every now and then, instead of a word, it'll have a picture, like, what did you do? Shoe, said the shoe, but instead of the first word being shoe, it's a picture of a shoe. I sat on the hog, answered the dog. Is he dead? Asked the bread. This is not funny, said the bunny. Is this a hat? Said the cat. No, it's not, replied the cat. Well, then what is it? Asked the hen. Stop, this poem is too silly, said Uncle Willie. We use poetry for so many different reasons. You know, we want people to have fun. And that third one talks about enjoyment and humor. Well, you could use their favorite little song like Twinkle Twinkle and say, we're going to say it with the S sound. So we'd sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Or instead of London Bridges, London Bridges, Pauline found, and change one of the letters. When you're reading a poem like I am a pine tree growing on a hill, I can stand so very still. All at once the wind begins to blow. I bend to and fro, to and fro, to and fro, and let the children bend like there's a tree. And it is very true that it increases vocabulary. Now again, I talked about using nursery rhymes, which is something that you can do. The good thing about nursery rhymes is most all children know them because it's something that their parents have read to them or sang to them. And that alliteration is also really good because we're repeating that beginning consonant sound. This is one of the reasons why songs are so easy for children to learn. They rhyme, and most of the time, they say the same thing over and over again. And if you listen to the song, I Feel It Coming, I don't know if it's Starboy or Daft Punk, whoever it is, I want you to count how many times you hear I Feel It Coming. It's probably like 50 times. I think that's the only thing the song says. That's why children know. You can do flannel boards, and we'll talk about those in the next chapter. But flannel boards will work really good with poetry too. And a flannel board is basically, instead of a drawing On paper, they're cut out of felt paper and you put them on a felt board. And as you tell the story, you put your pictures up. Poetry has a lot of different elements, a lot of rhyming words.
I'm sorry, Ms. Campbell, can you go back in, one slide?
Yeah.
Please, thank you.
Okay. Figurative language too, that are enhanced by words. Figurative language is a non-literal meaning. It provides a new way of looking at something. Figurative language could be a simile, a metaphor, personification, alliteration, onomatopoeia, hyperbole, idioms, cliches,